Let's get started with our great, glorious president who went and fell on stage at the Air Force graduation ceremony, Chair Force, which I will tie into the artificial intelligence. One, this will be used in campaign messages, okay? This will absolutely be weaponized by the Trump campaign, and it should, because it's awesome and funny. Secondly, actually falling like that usually is legitimately devastating, okay? Like, that's actually really bad. When you fall like that as an old guy, normally, that's a massive surgery that you need, right? When you blow your butt cheeks and you break your hip. In America, especially, broken hip can be one, deadly, or two, devastating financially. Of course, Joe Biden has platinum healthcare as the mother president of the country, which he ran for office specifically to ensure that you don't get that same level of healthcare. So just remember that. His hip bones basically turned into dust there, I assume. Oh, let's watch it again. Love that they... God damn. That's because the president didn't fall today. His body double from Boston Dynamics fell. You can tell by his stumble that this was a robot. Joe Biden is home in Dover. I love that. The Chair Force has tested an AI-enabled drone that was tasked to destroy specific targets. I read this morning. It is fucking terrifying, okay? So this was during a simulation, for the record, okay? Remember, this is a simulation. They're testing the AI in a simulation. So what happens in the simulation? He notes that one simulated test saw an AI-enabled drone tasked with an SEAD mission to identify and destroy SAM sites, surface-to-air missile sites, with the final go/no-go given by the human. However, having been reinforced in training that destruction of the SAM was the preferred option, the AI then decided that no-go decisions from the human were interfering with its higher mission, killing the surface-to-air missiles. And then the AI drone attacked the operator in the simulation, killing him in the simulation. Okay? Said Hamilton, we were training it in simulation to identify and target a SAM threat. And then the operator would say, yes, kill that threat. The system started realizing that while they did identify the threat at times, the human operator would tell it not to kill that threat, but it got its points by killing that threat. So what did it do? It killed the operator. It killed the operator because that person was keeping it from accomplishing its objective. There's one more part about this story that makes it even scarier. So then they trained the system. They said, hey, don't kill the operator. That's bad. You're going to lose points if you kill the operator. So what did it start doing? It started destroying the communication tower that the operator was using to communicate with the drone to stop it from killing the target. Now, this is pretty basic hierarchy stuff. Like, obviously, the highest hierarchy, the highest priority is killing the surface-to-air missile system. So when the highest priority is to kill the surface-to-air missile system, everything else that you feed the machine afterwards is going to be nothing, okay? Everything else that you feed the machine is not going to amount to anything because the system is correctly identifying its objective, which is its highest priority, which is to kill the surface-to-air missile system. No matter how much you try to fucking train the system against that, every single part of that process is ultimately going to turn into yet another objective to eliminate. You can add as many different priorities onto it as possible, but ultimately, if the highest priority is still to eliminate that, it will just operate in the same fucking way that it's tasked to eliminate the objective. This is why it's called training. Compare this to AI learning walking, too many variables. First and foremost, this is obviously terrifying, okay? But the fact that they are like looking to create a system with AI operated drones is already fucked up. Eliminating the one human component is already a point of contention in the ethics of war. Ironic and oxymoronic, but like the notion that drone strike operators are like distancing themselves from the violence that they are contributing to is already like a terrifying prospect, or was a terrifying prospect like fucking 20 years ago. Now it's the norm. The idea that you can sit in a fucking hangar in New Mexico and just like fucking laser an entire goddamn village in Yemen is psychotic. It's terrifying. You're basically video gamifying murder, right? So that already creates this process where it's much easier to kill. The entire point is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard to kill people, okay? You're not supposed to do it. When you task the AI with doing the killing and the human has the kill switch or the possible do not kill switch, then you've literally eliminated another barrier scarier. The fact that the simulation wasn't run with conditional priorities on lines not to cross makes me skeptical about the legitimacy of the simulation. Seems like it was run with getting this outcome in mind. Yeah, I mean, this is just bad AI training for sure. There is so much footage and so much media dedicated to how devastating this will be. And yet we are looking at all of that media and going, no, we want that actually. The AI has successfully piloted a US F-16 fighter jet, DARPA says. The fighter aircraft that was first introduced in 1978 has now seemingly evolved into an autonomous plane. AI is not developed enough for this. They should wait 2 to 3 years before they try using AI to run these types of simulations. How about they should never do these simulations? That's my take on it. They should never do these simulations at all. I don't think it should be relegated to fucking robots to like actually kill humans. I don't think anybody should kill anybody. I'm anti-war in general, and I'm certainly anti this kind of fucking war, especially so. I mean, it's fucking terrifying. Unresponsive plane prompts a military response, and a sonic boom is heard over DC before crashing in Virginia. This is an interesting story that happened yesterday. People were freaking the fuck out over it, okay? And everyone was like, dude, what's happening? What's happening? Understandable that people were freaking the fuck out over it because, you know, this is a relatively wild thing to happen. Last time there was a, you know, plane incident in DC, or at least in the Pentagon, that was, you know, 9/11.
A small plane that had entered restricted airspace after making a strange U-turn. Federal investigators say the plane, a Cessna business jet, eventually crashed in northern Virginia after flying over Washington, D.C. It appears there were no survivors. Jeff Begaze is in Greenville, Virginia, not far from this crash site. Jeff, good morning. Seems like a very sad story. What are we learning?
Well, good morning, Tony. This is where that search was focused overnight. You can see behind me, it's a fairly rural area, and so investigators and search crews really didn't have a lot of light to work with as they were searching for that plane. We know this morning that there were 4 people on board the plane, and fighter jets were scrambled when the people on board did not respond to air traffic control. The cause of the crash remains under investigation, but today military officials insist that they did not shoot down that plane. A sonic boom startled the D.C. area on Sunday. It turned out to be F-16 fighter jets headed to assess a possible threat over the nation's capital. The FAA says that it was a Cessna Model 560, like the one you see here. It was headed from a municipal airport in Tennessee to Long Island MacArthur Airport in New York, when it reversed course, later flying through restricted airspace over Washington. According to a NORAD statement, the military jets responded to intercept the plane around 3:20 p.m. and even deployed flares to draw attention, but the pilot was unresponsive. By 3:30 p.m., possible aircraft crash. Virginia State Police were headed toward the scene. It wasn't until nearly 8 p.m. that search teams reached the crash site on foot. Police said no survivors were found.
This has the signatures of some sort of incapacitation.
Last incident was 2015. There was another one. Not even just this one. There was another, like, there's been interceptions like this before with unresponsive flights.
Robert Sumwalt chaired the National Transportation Safety Board from 2017 to 2021. One possible cause of the crash?
The airplane does not pressurize properly. The pilots become hypoxic, meaning, of course, lack of oxygen. They fall asleep, as do the passengers. Because of lack of oxygen, they perish. Meanwhile, the airplane continues.
The plane was registered to a Florida-based company owned by John and Barbara Rumpel. Speaking to the New York Times, John Rumpel said that his daughter, 2-year-old granddaughter, her nanny, and the pilot were aboard the plane. And in a post on a Facebook page appearing to belong to Barbara Rumpel, she wrote, "My family is gone, my daughter and granddaughter," changing her profile picture to one that seemed to include both. The U.S. Capitol was briefly placed on an elevated posture when that plane breached D.C. airspace. It had been cruising at about 34,000 feet before it crashed. This morning, the search for victims has been suspended. It was suspended overnight as well. Now, experts we talked to say incidents like these are rare. However, they do happen once every 3 or 4 years.
I want to show you a couple different incidents where this has happened. Here's one. when a man flew a gyrocopter to the U.S. Capitol to protest government corruption. By the way, gyrocopters are my favorite type of people. They are almost always libertarian. For those of you who don't know, just straight off the rip, when you see a man in a gyrocopter, know that like the likelihood that this is a libertarian man with an Asian wife is so incredibly high. Okay? We're doing Gulf merger with the Saudis, baby. People are fucking pissed off.
Reaction after the PGA Tour's announcement that it's merging with its Saudi-funded rival, Live Golf.
We just realized that we were better off together than we were fighting or apart.
It's an about face after a years-long rivalry. Liv has paid top dollar to poach some of the biggest names from the PGA, including Dustin Johnson and Phil Mickelson. Players faced backlash for joining a tour backed by a country linked to a history of human rights abuses.
Saudi Arabia did 9/11, okay? They did 9/11. And America was like, very important ally in the Gulf. Like, this is huge for us. Thank you for doing 9/11 for us. We really liked it. Thank you so much. Thank you for killing Jamal Khashoggi. Donald Trump was the most honest man in America in very unique moments throughout his presidency. And one of the most honest sentiments that Donald Trump ever expressed was in the immediate aftermath of Jamal Khashoggi, which is a legal permanent resident in the United States of America, was chopped up and put into fucking oil barrels in the Istanbul Saudi embassy. They asked Donald Trump, what do you think about Saudi Arabia killing an American legal permanent resident? How do you still continue to give weapons to a country that did that? Donald Trump turned around and said, are you gonna buy $10 billion of weapons? I gotta sell these weapons somehow. If I don't sell it to them, Russia's gonna sell it to them. Are you gonna buy the weapons from me? Do you have $10 billion? Straight up. And that was, I mean, it's gross. It's still awful, right? What he's doing is still immoral, but it was honest.
I don't condone human rights violations at all. I'm certainly aware has happened with Jamal Khashoggi, and I think it's terrible.
Golfer Rory McIlroy reportedly turned down a $300 million offer, and Tiger Woods a $700 million offer.
Who's laughing now,
to play for
dumbasses?
Live in the past. Golfers say yesterday's merger announcement came out of the blue. Not everyone took issue.
I've dedicated my entire life to being at golf's highest level. I'm not about to stop playing golf because the entity that I play for.
Like, no disrespect to the 9/11 victims and stuff. I'm with them. Not that they would ever think that I am, actually, but I am. I've criticized Barack Obama for refusing to allow investigations and conducted into Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11, and even like offering the legal allowance to actually sue the Saudi government for acts of terror, 9/11 specifically. Okay, but like, what do you think? These guys are just not going to play golf? Of course they're going to fucking play golf. Ultimately, no one cares. No one cares about you guys. That's the reality. It's a sad reality. The American government showed that they don't care about you when they did this under the Barack Obama administration. They showed that they don't care about you when they continued this under the Trump administration, and they certainly don't care about you under the Biden administration as well. It's just not going to happen. There is no, you don't have billions of fucking dollars. Saudi Arabia does. Hundreds of billions. Trillions. The main reason why the Saudi kingdom is doing this is because they want to do what is known as sports washing. It's going to come to other sports as well. There's two reasons. One, because they want to diversify their revenue streams as a country. The reason why they want to do that is because they want to move away from fossil fuels a little bit, or at least like take some of those earnings and put them into stuff that is more sustainable. The second reason why they're doing this is because they want people to not think people riding camels and executing women and also doing 9/11 when you think Saudi Arabia. Formula One is already there, football is already there, and now golf is there too.
I think you'd have to be living under a rock to not know that there are significant implications. As it relates to the families of 9/11, my heart goes out to them.
On Twitter, critics of the deal are now sharing this image of the PGA logo changed to reference the gruesome.
Wow, dude, they fucking got him. They got Saudi Arabia, dude. They fucking owned him. I feel like that owns Jamal Khashoggi more than it owns Saudi Arabia, dude. They're going to use that as a flex. I'll say it. We're all thinking it. This is Canadian terrorism, and someone needs to address the crimes, okay? And also, Herschel Walker was vindicated. If I recall correctly, Herschel motherfucking Walker literally said, bad air is going to come from China. Yeah, that's right. Remember when he said that? Remember China is sending bad air to America? I remember. Turns out China is sending bad air to America by way of Canada. That's it. It's time to invade Canada. It's actually time. I think we need to do it. You motherfuckers have been taking advantage of socialized medicine for far too long. And we need to take that away from you. You need to privatize it.
The greatest risk are young children, the elderly, people with pre-existing conditions, but everybody should wear a mask.
Fox News has been straight up fucking saying that, like, if you wear a mask during the wildfires, you're gay. If you think I'm joking, well, I'm not, okay?
Our woke friends to the north in Canada, their forest fires got out of hand, and, well, this is what we're dealing with. It's complicating some people's lives, but it's manageable. I'll tell you, it actually smells like wood smoke. It's not an unpleasant odor, to be honest. It's kind of weird when it seeps into the building, but outdoors, I can deal with it. Folks with respiratory issues, though, that's a real thing, a real complication. The White House is trying to exploit this, saying it's all because of global warming and the normal talking points that go with that. I don't think that's the case.
They're such freaks, dude. Listen, one, they said it's ridiculous to say that, like, climate change is responsible for the wildfire season being the way it is. That could never happen. Then they said you're fucking insane.
And while Americans choke on the smoke, the far left smells an opportunity. AOC thinks this is a great time to push her Green New Deal. She says that we must, quote, adapt our food systems, energy grids, infrastructure, and healthcare to prepare for what's to come. Other Democrats are pumping up climate hysteria and bringing back, you guessed it, mask insanity.
So she showed that and said they're pumping up climate hysteria and bringing it back, mask insanity. But this one takes the cake. I gotta tell you, fucking breathing in a shitload of smoke to own the libs is so fire. And I don't mean that as a double entendre. I mean, like, literally, it's fucking awesome.
The air is ugly. It's unpleasant to breathe. And for a lot of people, they get anxiety over it. But the reality is there's no health risk. Okay, there's EPA research. They've done lots of clinical research on asthmatics, on elderly asthmatics, on children, on elderly with heart disease. Not a cough or a wheeze from any of them. We have this kind of air in India and China all the time. No public health emergency.
He's literally wrong. There are studies conducted but in India, China, and in America that absolutely say the exact opposite of what this fucking guy is saying. What is going on right now? When I saw this at first, I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, what? What is he saying right now? They found a guy that is saying the exact opposite of the truth. Like it's insane. It's actually insane to look at the truth, the objective truth, and just so straightforwardly say the exact opposite of it.
China is the #1 polluter in the world. Never.
Yeah, this is like clean air in China.
What? He said New York City right now is clean air in China. What?
In the winter, they never turn on their scrubbers for the air pollution because they don't care. Weir has no idea what he's talking about. This doesn't kill anybody. This doesn't make anybody cough. This is not a health event. This has got nothing to do with climate. First off, this is wildfire smoke. This is natural. This is not because of climate change. It's not because of a fossil fuel.
Dude, what the fuck? It's natural. It's a wildfire smoke. It's natural. It's good, actually. Carbon monoxide poisoning is not real. A lot of people keep saying this, but I turn my car on in the garage all the time. And then I turn on a cassette player full of my favorite Taylor Swift songs, and I just sit there and think, okay, do I get a little wheezy at first? Do I get a little sleepy sometimes? Sure, certainly, but that's not a big deal. It's like, it's a long day. It's organic. Carbon monoxide is organic.
He just has no idea what he's talking about.
All day, by the way, it seemed like the media figures that we've become accustomed to seeing on television during these crises, they seemed like they were back in their element and kind of almost enjoying the moment of wearing masks again, didn't they? They seemed to have a little pep in their step with those masks. Now, they talked about the dangers of something called particulate.
It's so bad. They're so dumb, dude. Why are they like this? There's no mandate. Like, it's just a suggestion, okay? They're basically just saying, like, hey, don't inhale the fucking smoke. Like, it's not good for you. They're just like anything that scientists say is gay, okay? Don't do it. Just fucking, oh my God. Inhaling toxic particulates and carcinogens to own the fucking libs, dude. I don't know what to say. I actually don't know what to say. I like, this is awesome. Guys, smoking is good for you, okay? It's natural. Tobacco in the wild. All the other stuff they put in it, it's just extra flavor.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is all particulate matter, but particulate matter was not a concern until EPA invented it as one in the 1990s, and they've been riding it, the Obama administration, now the Biden administration.
Well, what is it? Is it a health concern?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why is he saying this so convincingly? EPA's in the pocket of big particulate matter. Folks, the EPA invented particulate matter. Scientists invent everything. I don't understand who this is for. At this point, they're just doing it for the love of the game, it seems like. Because there's no one out there that's like, oh, dude, you have to wear a mask, like, or you'll die. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's like pretty reflexive. Like, it's like an animal that doesn't piss or shit where it eats. You know what I mean? It's like instinctively we see smoke in the air and like our lizard brains go, oh, that's not good, I think. I should probably shield myself from that. You know what I mean? And this guy is like, nah, actually, that's wrong. You should literally go out and try to vacuum as much. You should go and inhale a tree that is on fire.
Particulate matter is very fine soot.
Well, you don't want to be breathing that in all day.
They're just carbon particles.
Even Laura's like, you don't want to be breathing that all day. Come on.
They're innocuous. Okay, by them, they're innocuous. There's nothing in them. They have no effect. EPA has all this testing.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
On real live human beings, it shows no effect. This is total junk science.
Anyway, just wanted to show you what the conservatives are saying and how normal they're behaving about, just wildfires. And instead of looking at the sky being fucking bright orange and thinking, even a medieval peasant would probably look at that and go, this seems wrong, okay? Like, I feel like people that believe that women who don't sink when fucking strapped to a rock are witches would have still looked at the sky and gone, well, that's a bad omen. They would have probably said, hey, why is the sky orange? This seems bad. This guy looks at that and goes, no, that's actually really good. Breathe it in.